UFC 297 is this coming Saturday, and Rohan and I are here to break it down for you guys. We're going to talk about the main card and the featured prelim. If you're new to these, my name is Lucas Cohen. His name, Rohan Borges. And yeah, I'm ready. Let's get right into it. I'm really excited for this card, specifically that main event. I mean, such a banger. If you told me last year this time that Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis would be a title fight main event, I'd call you fucking crazy. I'd say you're living in a different universe. But here we are, 2024, January 20th. This fight will be taking place. By the way, if you want the rest of the prelims, I'm going to be doing a full card in-depth betting breakdown and predictions on the Discord, as that comes with all of our final bets and whatnot. We've been making a lot of money. It's a slow grind. But man, you know, it's the best way to make consistent money betting on MMA. Lose locks. That's what we call it, right?
Absolutely, lose locks. You know where to find them. You know where to make some money.
Damn right. And this is a customer right here. He already knows. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. Let's start with that main event: Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. And I know you and I have differing opinions on this. I'll let you start. You're good. Mm-hmm. You know, we got a sick head over here. It's all good.
I'm good.
We're gonna power through it.
Some mad throat. I'm good.
Yeah. Maybe take a sip of water before you give us your breakdown of this fight, Strickland versus du Plessis. Who do you think is going to win and how?
Look, I have Dricus du Plessis winning this fight, and it's a really tough one to call. Number one, let me just say this before I break this down. When this fight first got announced, like, I was not that hype. You know, I was like, all right, it's a cool fight. Because of the buildup of this fight, and credit to both of the guys, especially Sean, he takes it over the top sometimes, but it's worth it, man. And now I'm just invested. Like, I need to see this fight because of the bad blood that's there. But I got Dricus, man. Look, Sean Strickland in his last fight, incredible performance. Israel Adesanya, though, is not the same fighter as Dricus du Plessis. They're complete different fighters. They're absolutely different. Israel Adesanya, especially in that fight, more so than usual, was on the back foot, just willing to leg kick, stay there, you know, on the outside, let Sean come to him. And Sean, as tactical and safe as he usually is, he was willing to just, I'm marching you down and I'm just going to throw until you get tired of me. And he never stopped, and he never stopped coming forward. That's how he won that fight. And yes, he caught him in the second round, I think, or was it the first round? I'm misremembering now that he really put him down and rocked him. But dude,
second round, I believe.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But Israel Adesanya was giving him those opportunities. Those opportunities won't be there against Dricus du Plessis, somebody that is going to match him in his forward movement, his forward pressure. He's going to be in his face just as much as Sean usually is to his other opponents, and he's going to be the aggressor. He's going to look to get this fight to the ground, I think, for sure, and he can do it. We saw him take Robert Whittaker down in the center of the octagon, and not only did he do that, he hurt him with a jab on his way in. He showed that he has boxing. He has clean boxing. And I know your whole thing is that Dricus is not that talented. He's a little overrated. But I think in that fight, he showed that he can be a little clean and technical at times. And, man, that threat of the takedown is what I'm going to keep coming back to. It's always going to be there. And when that is there for Sean Strickland, his forward pressure is going to be a little bit neutralized. So I think that Dricus du Plessis has more paths to victory to win this fight. I can see him knocking him out even. He hits like a truck. But, yeah, I got him in this fight by whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to make a real prediction, but I think he's going to win.
Fair reasons. Before I give my prediction, let me say this. It's either du Plessis rounds 1 or 2 or Strickland 3, 4, 5 decision. That's how I see the fight going down. Now, what are the chances? I feel like Strickland 3, 4, 5 decision, he has more ways to win. All Strickland has to do is survive rounds 1 and 2. And it's not the tallest of tasks. It's going to be tough. You know, we know his takedown defense isn't the best. He got taken down in round 1 by Abus Magomedov. But I feel like he wasn't, he was letting Abus gas himself out. I do think, as you mentioned, that Dricus is a tad bit overrated. I was very heavy on Robert Whittaker against Dricus du Plessis, but looking back on it, man, I just think it was a perfect matchup for du Plessis. I think Whittaker, he's known for that blitz coming forward, with that little 2-punch combo, and I think he just ran right into the power of du Plessis. Strickland, he's more of a defensive fighter, and I do agree with you when you say that Strickland, that du Plessis and Adesanya are different fighters. It's a fact. But here's the thing. I still just don't think this guy is that talented, Dricus du Plessis. He leaves his chin out there. He's very, very slow. And his cardio, I know he got his nose fixed, but we've never seen this guy go into a fourth or fifth, rarely even a third round. He's only had a few decisions, I believe. I think that there's more of a chance Strickland survives than Dricus getting it done in 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong. He can definitely get this done. Dricus could definitely get this one done early. He's got incredible jiu-jitsu. That's something I'll give him credit for. I mean, I saw him in a few BJJ tournaments. This guy, his like darces and guillotines, they're awkward. But, man, his squeeze is legit. But, man, I just think Strickland, he's a little bit more crisp of a striker. Mm-hmm. And I think there's more of a chance he survives that early storm than du Plessis.
I don't know.
Getting it done early.
One more thing I'll say. I agree with you. The point to worry about with Dricus is definitely the fact that he is not experienced in those later rounds, right? Like he has not been to the fifth and the fourth even round many times in his career, if not at all. I don't even see any on his Tapology record. But I will say that Jared Cannonier fight really sticks out in my mind. When he fought Sean Strickland, he was in his face the entire time. And Jared Cannonier is not some technician. You know, he's not some extremely talented striker or anything. But he's just going to be in your face, similar to how Dricus fights, a little toned down. But he's going to be in your face, and he's going to return fire. Whether you're coming at him, you know, with a few punches, he'll return those few punches. And he's going to land some big shots, too. But he rarely backs down. And that's the same thing that Dricus brings to the table. And I will say, on the cardio point, I think there's a chance that in a title fight, like there's so much on the line, and now this buildup has made this event so big and so massive. I think that Dricus might take a bit of a smarter approach.
Let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you there.
Yes.
Who is Dricus du Plessis if he takes a smarter approach?
Well, we'll see. I mean, look, that's yet to be. I guess we haven't seen that as I mean, the way you're thinking about it. I think he took a smart approach against Robert Whittaker. He didn't take many risks in that fight. He was really smart and economic with his movements and with his punches and with his takedowns. He didn't attempt too many takedowns. I don't believe he was really efficient with his takedowns. He got him down in like really easily in the center of the cage. I think if he doesn't rush anything or isn't going all out for the knockout like he does sometimes, I know that's his style. But if he takes a little bit of a calmer approach in a title fight, there's so much on the line for him. I think that he could maybe just win a decision. Like I'm not gonna like bet on that or anything, but I could see him winning a decision, similar to how Jared Cannonier beat Sean Strickland by decision. He hurt him with a few big shots, showed it Sean, but they went to a decision ultimately. And it was a close fight because they were canceling each other out with that forward movement. I think we could see the same thing. I'm not saying it's a safe bet or anything, but I still think there's a finish in the fight on Dricus' side if he wins. But I could see a decision. I'll just throw that out there.
So wait, let me get this straight. You're saying that Dricus could win a decision?
Could. That's the key word. Could.
You think it's a possibility?
It's a possibility, yes. It's a possibility.
I couldn't disagree anymore. I mean, you're relying on a guy who's never seen a fourth or fifth round, who's known for losing round threes.
You're saying never been to a fourth, fifth round, like he's had many like 5-round main event slots. Like he's never really had that stage.
Cardio. He has shit cardio.
Okay, but he has a decision win. We've seen him go 3 rounds. And I'm just saying, again, I'm not saying it's a smart bet. I'm saying in a title fight, it's fair to not assume, but it's fair to think that one could come into the title fight a little more conservative. That's the only point I'm making. And if he does that, he might have more gas in him in the later rounds, where he's still going to be dangerous, bro. Because if he has gas to take this fight to the ground in the later rounds, if he does that, and Strickland's somehow leading after 3, and then 4 rounds, his coach is telling him, yo, take this fight to the ground, bro, and he has enough gas to do that, I can see them winning a decision, for real, for sure.
Yeah, here's the thing. I'm looking back at this du Plessis Tavares fight. Okay, he won round 3 on all the scorecards. Look, I don't know. I just don't. He's shit cardio. Like that's all I have to say. Like that's my only counter argument. This guy's cardio is awful. I just
returned a little, detailed argument. Look,
I know, but I just can't. This guy. He's just so slow. He's so slow. He's slow. Against the guy who's a cardio machine.
He didn't look so slow. I don't even have Whittaker, though. He didn't look so slow against Robert Whittaker. No, yes, not that slow, bro.
Did you see?
Okay.
Wait. That finishing sequence. Those were probably the slowest body punches That was the slowest finishing sequence I think I've seen in my entire
Robert Whitaker's one of the most
fucking
experienced fighters in that division.
Okay, but it was done. He finished him early. That's
Bro,
he's only
Sean
going to get
Strickland leaves
slower.
openings too.
He's
It's not
only
like
going to
he's-
get. Yes, he
leaves
can
his
finish
hands
him.
down too.
You're right.
Pereira caught him easily.
You're right. He could get finished in rounds 1 or rounds 2. I
Okay.
couldn't agree more. I'm saying there's literally Rohan. I will get on my knees if he wins a decision. I will give you, bro. Shake on it right now. I'll give you $100 if Drake. No, I'll give you $50.
I did. It was
Just spit.
No, man. Come on.
I will give you $40. $35.
35. The price has come down from 100 to
No, it's just because I got to watch my bank account.
You got it.
$35 if Drickus wins a decision.
Okay.
And if he doesn't win a decision, you have to give me $1.
Bet. Deal.
That's how confident. That is not going to fucking happen.
Okay,
You are crazy.
okay.
Yeah, like, I can't believe you just made that argument. That was so...
Look, again, I'm not saying...
You can give your
guys,
fucking detailed argument.
Look, I'm
Drickus
not betting
Duplessis
on that. Like, I'm not going to put $50 on Drickus
Bro,
to win by decision.
the odds are probably like plus 5,000.
I know. They probably are, and they should be. But again, it's a title fight. I broke it down, man. He could. But let's see. We'll see. I'm excited as fuck, bro. Now I'm excited. I will say.
Yeah. Now we have a little bet going.
Yeah.
I'm going Strickland though. If I didn't make that clear enough, I just think he out volumes him in the later rounds, out cardios him. I'm gonna go for my. Let's do official predictions. My official prediction is gonna be Sean Strickland by TKO KO in rounds 4 or rounds 5. I'm gonna say round 5. I think Drickus is just gonna look like a fucking mess in rounds 4 and rounds 5. He's going to probably survive round 4, although I could see him getting finished late. Round 4. Although it could happen late round 4 or round 5. I'm going Strickland inside the distance, round 4 or round 5, KO, TKO. What's your official prediction for this fight?
I'm going to personally
if you say anything
I'm going to sprinkle him by decision, but that's not my pick. My pick is Drickus Duplessis in the second round.
Fair.
That's
okay.
I
thought you were about to say round 4.
No. In the second round, Drickus gets it done. I think
fair.
This guy has too many ways to win. Whether he submits him or knocks him out, I think he gets it done second round. Boom.
Fair. There's our predictions. I'm going Strickland. He's going Duplessis. Let's move on to the co-main event. Mayra Bueno Silva taking on Rocky Raquel Pennington. Now let me give a little speech here. Do you mind? Let me
go ahead, bro. By all means. I really have. Go ahead.
There have been a lot of UFC title fights,
yes.
within the company. There's been many, and man, the feeling of a UFC title fight, it's the best feeling, is it not? The anticipation, the feeling you get when both fighters are in that octagon and Bruce is in the middle and he's announcing their names and the fighters are staring each other down and then the gloves touch. That feeling is like no other. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Rocky Raquel Pennington, I feel like will be the very first ever time in my 5-6 years of watching UFC where I get zero feeling when they meet in the middle. This, in my opinion, is the worst title fight of all time. It is so fucking awful. This is a disgrace to be for a championship. This is what I gotta say, man. UFC women's bantamweight. We'll get into predictions. UFC women's bantamweight, UFC women's featherweight. They need to be eliminated. There is zero talent at bantamweight. I think Tatiana Suarez, who's fighting at strawweight right now, could become a 3-division champion. I really do. UFC women's bantamweight is the worst division at this moment. Is the worst division of all time. I think. Man, strawweight and flyweight should be the only divisions for women's. This is a disgrace of a title fight, an absolute disgrace. It's embarrassing. Mayra Bueno Silva and Raquel Pennington, one of them will have a title on their waist by Sunday, whatever you want to call it, Saturday night, Sunday morning. It makes me want to throw up thinking about it. They're going to be in the middle, and DC's going to be like, oh my God, the feeling of a title. No. This is fucking awful. This is a disgrace to the sport. They should have gifted this fight to the PFL and Bellator. They should have given the entire women's bantamweight division to other organizations. This is so fucking bad. And you know what's even worse? I know you want to counter, but you know what's even worse, Rohan?
What?
You know what the fight after this is going to be? After whoever wins this title?
Tell me.
It's going to be Juliana Pena versus the winner of this fight. That's the title fight. This is what the women's bantamweight and featherweight division have come down to. This is fucking disgrace. Do you disagree?
No, I don't disagree. I literally agree with everything you just said. But I just, like, how can this be the lot of fighters in the top 15 at these two divisions? Because if, like, there has to be some more talent out there, because it feels unfair that there would only be two good, worthwhile divisions for the women. That just feels unfair. But then, so 4 feels like a right number. But then at those higher weights, like 145, you got names like Ketlin Vieira, like, I mean, a washed up Holly Holm.
I'm sorry. Do you know who Chelsea Chandler is?
No.
Have you seen the clip of that women's fighter running into the cage, running away?
No,
have you seen that? Okay, so it was Chelsea Chandler versus Norma Dumont. You've never seen that?
Norma,
and she just sprints to the side of the cage. She got hit and then just sprints away.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
She is ranked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but then you think of names like fucking outside the UFC. Like, she's slipping my mind, but she's the best in the world. Tell me. Kayla Harrison. Bro, like, why isn't she in the UFC right now? That just makes me annoyed, because you know there's talent outside the sport.
And it's never going to happen either.
I know, it's never going to happen, but that's my point. It should. And it's, like, annoying as fuck that these are the fighters that we're having to watch right now. And, we haven't even talked about the fight at all. And I don't even really know what to say about it, because it's just, it's a mess, bro. I don't know. Who's your pick?
This is my petition. Make Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev the co-main event. Push this. This should be the prelim opener. This should be the fucking ESPN News prelims, bro.
They had the free
UFC Fight Pass
on ESPN. They just had the free. They should have done that, like, just a regular fight night, free fucking.
Bro, this should be a UFC Apex Fight Night co-main event, even with the title.
This is bad, dude. This is bad. I don't disagree at all with anything that you're saying about this fight. But as far as everything else, we got to get into a little prediction.
Well, I was about to say, with that being said,
who's your pick?
I'm going to go Mayra Bueno Silva to win this fight by submission. I could care less to break this fucking fight down. I don't think she's juiced up. I think that USADA is just fucked up. I don't know why that's a no contest. She wouldn't be fighting for a title if she was drugged up on roids. She doesn't look like she's drugged up on roids. With that being said, I'm going to go knee bar Mayra Bueno Silva round 2. Round two or 3 knee bar. That's my prediction. But again, like, I can't believe that Raquel Pennington could hold a title by the end of the night. Raquel fucking Pennington.
I know, bro. I know.
Mayra Bueno Silva was just a fucking prelim opener, like 70 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And here we are, co-main event, pay-per-view. Mayra Bueno Silva versus Raquel Pennington for a title. Delete the fucking division. How hard is it?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. They got to do something. But
your prediction, sorry.
I agree. I'm going Mayra Bueno Silva by submission. Either of the first 2 rounds, I think she gets it done. She is really nasty on the ground. I know Raquel is really tough, and she's beaten a lot of impressive ladies in her recent run. But Mayra gets it done by sub. That's my prediction.
Let's just move on, because, man, it makes me want to throw up even thinking about this.
On, bro.
It really does. It's absolutely fucking disgusting. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna keep cursing and ranting if we keep talking about this. Let's move on to a fight I'm even more excited about.
Yeah.
Mike Malott versus Neil Magny. I wouldn't be mad if they made this the co-main event.
Exactly.
They should. Arnold Allen versus Evloev should be a 5-rounder co-main event. This should be a 5-round. The Bueno Silva and Pennington should be 5 rounds. Championship fight. Make it a championship fight if you want to. ESPN News prelim headliner. That's what it should be. Ridiculous. But yeah, Mike Malott versus Neil Magny. I see this arm triangle choke for Mike Malott in round 2. I think this guy's striking not the best, but man, Neil Magny, his durability's going down. I think he may get hurt on the feet, and then I just see a club and sub. It's as simple as that. I think Mike Malott just strangles Neil Magny on the ground, and he could submit him in round 3, round 1. I'm going to go round 2. Meet me right in the middle. I think arm triangle is how he gets it done. It's Mike Malott's favorite choke. As simple as that.
I agree, man. This is a great spot for Mike Malott. At home, right in his backyard. Neil Magny is just one of those sacrificial lambs that the UFC got to just throw out there. get your name a little bit bigger. You know, that's the way it works, and I just see that happening here. Mike Malott, too many ways to win, and I agree. He is going to take this fight to the ground at some point, whether it's early, whether it's, you know, sometime in the third. I don't see it lasting that long, honestly. I think he gets it done early as well. And yeah, I could see a club and sub, but I can also see him just taking his ass down and just getting to the back or something like that. He is just such a good wrestler. So yeah, Mike Malott, that's my pick as well.
I'm sorry, Ron. Pani Kianzad is ranked 7th in the women's bantamweight division.
No,
bro.
That is
so crazy.
I feel you. Because, like, who are the... Macy Chiasson is up
She
there.
got up kicked to the liver. She's top 10.
That was so funny.
I'm sorry. I just looked at it. It's on my screen. I just looked at the rankings one more time. This is so bad. Juliana Pena is the best women's bantamweight fighter. Oh my God.
Nah, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Let's move on to the next fight on the card.
Yeah.
We've got Chris Curtis versus Marc-Andre Barrial, and to be honest, I'd rather this as a co-main event than the current co-main event. This is one of the harder fights to call for me. I think it's going to be a close decision. I don't see anybody getting finished in this one. I'm going to go Chris Curtis by razor-thin decision. I would not be surprised if they robbed him because this fight's in Canada. But I just think he's a tad bit better than Barrial. I think he stuffs the takedowns. I think they're going to be in the pocket swinging. I don't think Curtis finishes Barrial. Barrial, not the best striking defense. He's more of a pressure and pace fighter, which could break Chris Curtis. However, Chris Curtis, he's shown his ability to, you know, push through those wars. Take that Kelvin Gastelum fight, for an example. A lot of people thought he won that fight. It was very, very close. I think you can give it to either fighter, but that's not the point. I think Chris Curtis, just the power shots of Curtis will do enough. Barrial, I think he'll hurt him with an uppercut. I think both fighters will be hurt during this matchup. I think this is a fight of the night type fight. Besides the main event, I'd say. But give me Chris Curtis, razor-thin decision. I think he does just enough. And let's pray the Canadian judges don't rob him.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't agree with you more there, bro. I got Chris Curtis by decision. He's a decision machine, but so is Barrial. But man, I just can't, like, Barrial's been finished a lot, actually. He's been finished a lot, and his run of fighters, the fighters that he's facing, I just don't like that competition if you're stacking it up to what Chris Curtis has seen in his past few fights. He's gone up against real tough competition. Nasruddin Imavov, no contest, obviously, but Kelvin Gastelum, Joaquin Buckley, Jack Hermanson, like, these are freaking ranked guys. Like, Barrial, he's just not fighting the same competition. And Chris Curtis, man, like you said, he's got power in those hands, and he is so tough. That's the thing about him, man. He is so tough, and he never stops coming forward. I think that he's going to hurt him a few times in this fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he found a finish, maybe, but I agree. The safe bet, Chris Curtis by decision, that'll be my pick.
I mean, yeah, as you just said, if you look at the wins in Marc-Andre Barrial's career.
And he started 0-3 in his UFC career, bro. They gave him a long-ass leash.
His 4 recorded UFC wins: Eric Anders, Julian Marquez, Jordan, the Beverly Hills
Jordan
Ninja,
Wright.
the GOAT, Jordan Wright,
man.
and Dalcha Gambula, and Abu Azaitar.
Yeah, come on.
5 recorded wins. And then it just seems like when he takes that step up, he chokes. Yeah. Finished by Chidi, finished by Anthony Hernandez, exactly. Decision against Jin Young Park. I think Chris Curtis isn't quite at the level of Anthony Hernandez, but I think he still does just enough. I don't think he finishes Barrial. Barrial's pretty tough, but give me Chris Curtis by decision. Let's move on to this next fight, the final fight on the main card opener. Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. This one I'm really, really excited for. It's a chain wrestler versus a crisp striker. I think this is closer than people think. One thing I saw a clip on Twitter where Movsar Evloev saying he's still recovering from a knee injury. But here's the thing about these Dagestanis, they're nuts. You look at a guy in Muhammad Makayev. I mean, he tore his knee, and he's still fighting on and winning fights. I think Movsar Evloev is a much better fighter than Muhammad Makayev, and his takedowns are some of the best takedowns we've ever seen in the UFC. The way he transitions from strikes to takedowns, it's absolutely incredible. And man, I know Diego Lopez stepped into that fight on just a few days' notice, but that win is aging really, really well. I think Diego Lopez is a future top contender. I like Movsar to win this fight by 29-28 decision. I think Arnold Allen sneaks in a round for sure just due to the volume of strikes. I think this one definitely goes the distance. I'm going to go Movsar Evloev by decision. I think, the takedowns win him this fight. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think that's the safe pick, but I'm really tempted to take the underdog spot on Arnold Allen. And the thing is, when I think of Movsar Evloev and his fights, like, he's undefeated. Like, the record speaks for itself. But The win over Lopes is impressive. Ige is impressive. But that win over Hakeem Dawodu, I remember very, very vividly. And Hakeem Dawodu low-key had a case, maybe, for a little split decision or something. And at the end of the fight, he was in his face. And the thing about it is he was not able to hold Hakeem Dawodu down in that fight because his lateral movement was so good. Like, he was moving away from the takedowns laterally instead of back and forward. Because when you go back and forward, the Dagestanis, especially how good they are on the ground, they're going to get you down. And that's what Dan Ige does. He just goes back and forward. But Arnold Allen is kind of like Hakeem Dawodu. Like, he circles. He's not just going to stand in your face and let him take you down. But, man, I think Arnold Allen has a real shot here. He's got power in those hands, number one. I don't think he knocks him out, but I think he can hurt him. And I know you said 2-3 Evloev, but I'm willing to take a shot on Arnold Allen in this fight. Like, I really like him in this spot. That's all I'll say. And I think I'm going to pick him too. I think Arnold Allen by decision.
Fair enough. I just think Evloev just does a little bit more everywhere though.
Even on the feet, like Arnold is.
But here's the thing, man. When was the last time Arnold Allen faced the caliber of a wrestler like Movsar Evloev? I mean, you got to just look at his previous matchups. I mean, sorry about that mic issue. The last time Arnold Allen fought like a wrestler was Mads Burnell, and he took him down like 5-6 times. I think maybe even more. I feel like he hasn't
back in 2018 though.
Yeah, I know, but still, he hasn't faced a chain wrestler like Movsar Evloev. Yes. I can see where you're coming from 100%. I would not be surprised if Allen wins. He's very clean on the feet. It's just, I think Movsar, man, he's ready to break into that top 4, top 5. Yeah. I just think he's a talented guy, Dagestani. And you know what I saw the other day? I'm sorry to change the topic. He like started dating his current wife when she was 17 and he was 23. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
That's fucking crazy. Movsar pedo.
Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, sorry. I just had to. Josh Ginn. Sorry, I had to just bring that up. But yeah, those are our predictions. Very close fight. Would probably stay away when it comes to betting a money line. Maybe I'll pull the trigger on Evloev. Not quite sure.
Bro, Allen as an underdog, I'm telling you, man. Hey, something like
disagrees.
Allen, I don't know.
Fair enough. I totally respect your case there. Yeah. Let's talk about the feature prelim last fight we'll talk about on this card. Charles Jourdain versus Sean Woodson. This is one that we're really excited for. It's going to be a banger, but I think we know who wins this fight. I'm going to go Charles Jourdain.
Whoa.
I think.
Whoa.
What?
No, I'm playing.
Okay, good. I think Charles Jourdain takes this one by decision, maybe in round 3, honestly. Jourdain, he loves breaking fighters. It's what he does. And I just think he's going to be too much for Sean Woodson. This is another case of, look at their competition. Sean Woodson, I'm going to read you out his wins in the UFC, Rohan, if you don't mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kyle Bochniak, Youssef Zalal, Colin Anglin. He drew to Luis Saldana. I thought he got knocked out in round 1. It happened. You know, Saldana wanted to be an idiot and knee Woodson in the face. But, he knocked Woodson out in round 1. Luis Saldana did that. He knocked Sean Woodson out in round 1. And then he beat Dennis Bazooka. He also lost to Julian Erosa. This guy's not tested whatsoever. I'm going to take the tested guy on Charles Jourdain. I think Jourdain's getting better and better. He is 28. He's heading towards his prime. He didn't look the best in those Shane Woodson and Nathaniel Wood fights. However, he really turned up in that round 3 against Burgos, arguably a 10-8. He put on like a striking record in that round 3 against Burgos. I think this guy's only getting better and better, coming off an absolutely incredible guillotine choke against Ricardo Ramos. His signature guillotine choke. Did that to Lando Venata as well, where he like made his pants fall off. That was pretty funny. I'm going Charles Jourdain. Very confident in this one, and I know you are as well.
Absolutely, bro. Couldn't have said it better myself. Sean Woodson, the names that you just read out, they speak for themselves. Like, if you're just a casual fan, who? I mean, like, who are those names?
Fucking Luis Saldana.
I can't. But Charles Jourdain, man, I think he's better everywhere. Sean Woodson, he's got the range, right? He's a lanky guy. He's gonna fight from a distance, look to just, stick and move. But Charles Jourdain is one that he can move out of the way and he can come forward, man. Yep. And later in the fight, the better he's gonna get. He's proven that over the course of his career. He's got cardio for days. And, man, like, the names he's fighting. Shane Burgos, I know he's not in the UFC anymore, but that fight was crazy. And that third round set the record, right? You told me he set the record for most significant stretch, right? In the third round in that division?
I believe so.
In that round?
Yeah.
Crazy output. That's the thing. Like, he is going to And man, he's fighting in front of his home fans. He's one of the crowd favorites, man. And he's right in his backyard. They're going to be chanting his name the entire time. I just don't see him losing this fight at all. I love the fact that this money line is minus 180 on some books, minus 165. I think I saw it somewhere else. If you can get that, bro, absolutely all day, every day. Charles Jourdain is not losing this fight.
Fair
Take
enough.
our word for it.
There it is. Yeah, we like Charles Jourdain all day, every day. As I mentioned at the top, if you want the rest of the breakdown of the card, I'll have it on the Discord. $25 a month right now. That's 50% off from where it originally was at $50 a month. You get all my bets, breakdowns, writing breakdowns, webinar, and yeah, of course, this full card breakdown. Folks, we hope you enjoyed. We'll be back. Dana White just announced some fights, so we'll talk about those as well. It's been Lucas and Rohan. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Peace.
Doses.